Let me tell you something that will strike at the very core of what holds you back. Excuses are the thief of progress. They whisper false comfort when the path gets difficult, shielding us from the truth that our own effort defines our success. But today we cast them aside. Today we choose results. Excuses may sound harmless, even reasonable. I didn't have enough time. The odds were stacked against me. It wasn't my fault. These words may seem like a shield from failure, but they are the chains that keep you from soaring. Understand this. Excuses are the language of stagnation. When you set a goal, it's not enough to dream of achieving it. Dreams are a beginning, not an end. Between you and your vision lies action. Results aren't born from wishing, hoping, or waiting. They come from relentless effort. There are no shortcuts. You will face obstacles, setbacks, even moments of despair. But those who succeed do not find reasons to stop. They find reasons to keep going. Accountability is the cornerstone of this principle. Own your actions. Own your failures. Own your successes. Circumstances may not always be in your favor, but how you respond defines the outcome. You are not a product of what happens to you. You are a product of what you do in response. So, what does it take to get results? It takes focus so sharp it cuts through distractions. It takes discipline to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And above all, it takes resilience. The ability to rise every time you fall. The world doesn't hand you success. It doesn't wait for you to be ready. It challenges you, tests you, pushes you to your limits. But if you meet those challenges with resolve instead of excuses, you will find that every battle you fight, every step you take, brings you closer to your goal. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? Then ask, what excuses have I been making? Shatter them, break free of them, replace excuses with action, hesitation with determination, and doubt with confidence. The time for justification has passed. The time for action is now. Results are waiting. Not for the timid, not for the uncertain, but for the relentless. Go forth, unyielding in your pursuit, and remember this: no excuses, just results. Accountability is one of the most profound traits a person can possess, serving as the foundation for achieving extraordinary results. It is the ability to take full responsibility for one's actions, decisions, and the outcomes they produce. When you embrace accountability, you accept that the power to succeed or fail lies entirely within your hands. This shift in mindset transforms challenges into opportunities and failures into lessons. It is not about assigning blame to others or external circumstances, but about stepping into the role of a proactive, deliberate individual who takes charge of their life. Being accountable means recognizing that the choices you make shape your reality. When faced with adversity, it is easy to look outward, to point fingers at people or situations that seem to block your progress. However, true accountability involves looking inward and asking, what can I do differently? How can I turn this situation around? This approach requires humility, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. It demands that you take stock of your strengths and weaknesses, not to dwell on them, but to understand how they influence your path forward. Accountability also cultivates a sense of ownership. When you own your actions, you invest more deeply in their outcomes. You stop viewing goals as mere aspirations and begin treating them as commitments. This shift in perspective fosters a sense of urgency and determination. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions to act, and instead focus on what you can do right now. This sense of ownership is liberating because it places the power to succeed squarely in your hands. No longer do you feel like a passenger in your own life. You become the driver, charting your course and making deliberate decisions to steer yourself toward success. In the pursuit of accountability, self-reflection becomes an invaluable tool. Taking the time to evaluate your actions and their consequences allows you to identify patterns, behaviors, and attitudes that may be holding you back. It requires brutal honesty and a commitment to improvement. Accountability is not about self-criticism or dwelling on mistakes. It is about learning from them. Each misstep becomes a stepping stone, a lesson that equips you with the knowledge and resilience to move forward. This process of continuous self-improvement is what distinguishes those who merely dream from those who achieve. When you hold yourself accountable, you also build credibility and trust with others. People are drawn to those who take responsibility for their actions, especially in challenging situations. Accountability fosters respect and admiration because it demonstrates integrity and character. It shows that you are not afraid to admit when you are wrong and that you are willing to do the work necessary to make things right. This quality not only strengthens personal relationships, but also enhances professional opportunities. Employers, colleagues, and partners value individuals who can be relied upon to follow through on their commitments and deliver results. Accountability goes hand in hand with discipline. It requires you to set clear goals and establish actionable steps to achieve them. It demands that you prioritize your time, energy, and resources effectively. Discipline is not about depriving yourself of enjoyment or adhering to a rigid routine. It is about making choices that align with your values and aspirations. It is about saying no to distractions and short-term gratification in favor of long-term success. Accountability ensures that you stay focused on what truly matters, even when the journey becomes difficult or the rewards seem distant. One of the most challenging aspects of accountability is taking responsibility for failures. It is natural to feel discouraged or defensive when things do not go as planned. However, blaming others or external factors only delays progress and perpetuates a cycle of inaction. Accountability requires you to confront failure head-on and examine the role you played in it. This does not mean it means identifying what you can learn from the experience and how you can apply those lessons moving forward. This mindset shifts failure from being an endpoint to being a valuable part of the growth process. Accountability also involves setting realistic expectations for yourself. While it is important to aim high and challenge yourself, it is equally important to recognize your limitations and work within them. Unrealistic expectations can lead to frustration and burnout, undermining your ability to achieve meaningful results. Accountability helps you strike a balance between ambition and practicality. It encourages you to set goals that are challenging yet attainable, and to celebrate progress along the way. Each small victory becomes a testament to your effort, and a reminder of what is possible when you take ownership of your actions. Another critical aspect of accountability is seeking feedback and support from others. While accountability is ultimately about personal responsibility, it does not mean you have to go it alone. Surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you to a high standard can be incredibly motivating. Constructive feedback provides valuable insights into areas where you can improve, while encouragement and recognition fuel your determination to keep going. Accountability is not about proving your worth to others. It is about becoming the best version of yourself. The right support system can amplify your efforts and help you stay focused on your goals. Embracing accountability also requires a willingness to adapt. Life is unpredictable and circumstances often change in ways that are beyond your control. Accountability does not mean rigidly adhering to a plan that no longer serves you. It means being flexible and responsive to new information. It means evaluating your goals and strategies regularly and making adjustments as needed. This adaptability ensures that you remain aligned with your purpose and that you continue to make progress, even in the face of uncertainty. Ultimately, accountability is about empowerment. It is about recognizing that you have the ability to shape your future through the choices you make today. It is about breaking free from the limitations of excuses and stepping into a mindset of possibility. When you hold yourself accountable, you unlock a sense of agency and control that propels you toward your goals. You stop waiting for someone else to create opportunities for you. This sense of empowerment is transformative, not only in achieving results, but in building confidence, resilience, and a sense of purpose. The journey of accountability is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It challenges you to confront your fears, take risks, and step outside your comfort zone. It demands that you remain committed to your goals, even when the path is unclear or the obstacles seem insurmountable. But with each step you take, you grow stronger, more capable, and more determined. Accountability is the key to unlocking your potential and achieving the results you desire. It is not a burden but a privilege, a reminder that you have the power to shape your destiny and create a life of meaning and fulfillment. Excuses are the silent thieves of progress. They creep into our thoughts, offering comfort and justification for inaction, yet they rob us of opportunities to achieve our fullest potential. An excuse often starts as a small thought, a whisper of rationalization that shields us from discomfort or fear. Over time, it can become a habit, a default response to challenges, and a barrier to success. When excuses take hold, they prevent us from addressing the true causes of our struggles. Instead of finding solutions, we become skilled at explaining why those solutions are unattainable. This mindset, while temporarily comforting, ultimately traps us in a cycle of stagnation and unfulfilled potential. Excuses can be seductive because they shift responsibility away from ourselves. They allow us to attribute failure or lack of progress to external factors, whether it's a lack of time, unfavorable circumstances, or other people. This shift feels safe, as it absolves us of the need to confront our own choices and actions. However, this safety is an illusion. By refusing to take ownership of our situation, we give away our power to change it. Excuses are not solutions. They are obstacles that block the path forward. The more we rely on them, the more entrenched they become, making it increasingly difficult to break free. One of the most common forms of excuses stems from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success can lead us to create narratives that justify why we shouldn't try or why our efforts won't matter. Fear convinces us that it's safer to stay where we are than to risk the unknown. But these excuses, born of fear, only serve to reinforce our insecurities and keep us from growing. Facing fear requires courage and vulnerability, but it is also the first step toward overcoming it. When we confront the excuses driven by fear, we begin to see them for what they truly are: barriers of our own making. Excuses also thrive in the presence of uncertainty. When we are unsure of the outcome or lack a clear plan, it's easy to default to reasons why we shouldn't proceed. Uncertainty can feel paralyzing, leading us to focus on the potential risks rather than the potential rewards. Excuses become a way to avoid making decisions or taking action, allowing us to remain in a state of inaction. Every great achievement begins with a leap into the unknown, a willingness to take a chance despite the lack of guarantees. When we stop allowing uncertainty to fuel our excuses, we open ourselves to new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Another source of excuses is the desire for perfection. Perfectionism convinces us that if the conditions aren't ideal, we shouldn't even attempt to move forward. We tell ourselves that we need more time, more resources, or more preparation before we can begin. This mindset delays progress indefinitely, as perfection is an unattainable goal. Excuses rooted in perfectionism are particularly insidious because they often masquerade as high standards or careful planning. In reality, they are a form of procrastination, a way to avoid the discomfort of imperfection. True progress comes not from waiting for the perfect moment, but from taking imperfect action and learning along the way. Excuses are often reinforced by the stories we tell ourselves. These narratives shape our beliefs about what we are capable of and what is possible. If we believe that we are not talented enough, smart enough, or lucky enough, we will create excuses to justify those beliefs. We must remind ourselves that growth comes from effort, not inherent ability, and that every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. Excuses can also be influenced by the people around us. If we surround ourselves with individuals who make excuses for their own inaction, we are more likely to adopt the same behavior. Social validation plays a powerful role in shaping our choices, and excuses often provide a way to fit in or avoid standing out. On the other hand, surrounding ourselves with people who take responsibility for their actions and strive for excellence can inspire us to do the same. The company we keep has a profound impact on our mindset, and choosing to align with those who value accountability can help us break free from the cycle of excuses. Time is another area where excuses often arise. It's easy to say, "I don't have enough time," as a reason for not pursuing a goal or completing a task. While time constraints are a reality, they are also a matter of priorities. Excuses about time often mask a deeper unwillingness to prioritize what truly matters. When we stop making excuses about time, we begin to see that it is not about having enough of it, but about how we use it. Every minute spent on excuses is a minute that could be spent on action. Reclaiming control over our time requires us to be intentional and disciplined in our choices. Excuses are also a way to protect our egos. Admitting that we didn't try hard enough or that we made a mistake can be uncomfortable. Excuses provide a way to avoid that discomfort by shifting the focus away from ourselves. However, this avoidance comes at a cost. When we protect our egos with excuses, we miss out on the growth that comes from acknowledging and addressing our shortcomings. True confidence is built not on avoiding failure, but on learning from it and persevering despite it. Embracing this mindset allows us to move past excuses and toward meaningful progress. Breaking free from excuses requires self-awareness and a commitment to change. It involves recognizing the patterns of thought and behavior that lead to excuses and actively challenging them. This process is not about being harsh on ourselves or denying the validity of challenges we face. It is about acknowledging those challenges while refusing to let them define us. It is about choosing to focus on solutions rather than obstacles, on possibilities rather than limitations. Each time we overcome an excuse, we build the mental strength and resilience needed to face the next challenge. Excuses are not permanent. They are habits of thought and behavior that can be changed with effort and determination. The first step in breaking free is to become conscious of when and why we make excuses. This awareness allows us to pause and consider alternative responses. Instead of saying, "I can't," we can ask, "How can I?" Instead of focusing on why something won't work, we can explore what steps we can take to make it work. This shift in perspective transforms excuses from barriers into opportunities for creativity and problems. Excuses are a choice, not a necessity. While they may feel automatic or ingrained, they are ultimately a product of our own minds. Choosing to let go of excuses means choosing to take control of our lives and our results. It means taking responsibility for our actions and their outcomes, no matter how challenging or uncertain the path may be. It means embracing discomfort, taking risks, and persisting in the face of setbacks. This choice is not always easy, but it is always empowering. Excuses may provide temporary relief, but they do so at the cost of long-term progress. Each time we make an excuse, we reinforce a mindset of limitation and inaction. Conversely, each time we refuse to make an excuse, we strengthen our ability to take action and overcome challenges. The cumulative effect of these choices shapes our character and our future. By choosing to eliminate excuses from our lives, we create the conditions for success and unlock our full potential. The journey is not without its difficulties, but the rewards of living without excuses are immeasurable. Focusing on outcomes requires a radical shift in perspective, one that moves away from the distractions of the process and places emphasis on the final result. It is easy to get lost in the details, to become overwhelmed by the effort required, and to get sidetracked by minor setbacks. However, the true measure of success is not in how difficult or time-consuming the journey is, but in whether the goal was ultimately achieved. Outcome-focused thinking encourages individuals to look beyond obstacles and challenges, to see the bigger picture and stay aligned with their end goals. It calls for the courage to disregard the small, insignificant problems that may arise along the way, and direct all energy and resources toward achieving the desired result. One of the most effective ways to focus on outcomes is by setting clear and specific goals. When you define what you want to achieve, you create a roadmap for success that helps guide your actions and decisions. Clear goals provide direction, eliminating ambiguity and making it easier to measure progress. Without a specific goal in mind, it becomes easy to get caught up in irrelevant tasks or get distracted by the noise around you. An outcome-focused approach, however, forces you to keep your eyes fixed on the destination and ensures that every action you take moves you closer to it. Focusing on outcomes also means resisting the urge to overanalyze every step along the way. While it is important to be thorough in your planning and preparation, an obsessive focus on the process can become a form of procrastination. Perfectionism often paralyzes action, as it encourages individuals to overthink and perfect every aspect of their work before taking the next step. The result is usually a lack of progress or a tendency to remain stuck in planning rather than execution. When the focus shifts to outcomes, however, the emphasis moves away from perfecting the process and toward making progress, however imperfect it may be. The goal is to keep moving forward, refining as you go and learning from the results along the way. Another critical component of outcome-based thinking is the ability to adapt and be flexible. While the end goal remains constant, the path to that goal is rarely a straight line. There will be times when things don't go according to plan, when obstacles arise that threaten to derail your progress. The ability to adapt means finding ways to work around or through these challenges without losing sight of your ultimate goal. Those who focus on outcomes are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks. Instead of being deterred by failure, they use it as an opportunity to reassess their strategies and make adjustments where needed. By keeping the focus on the end result, you allow yourself the freedom to pivot, to try new approaches, and to persist in the face of adversity. Focusing on outcomes also requires the discipline to prioritize. In the pursuit of success, there are always competing demands for your time, energy, and resources. However, when the outcome is clear, it becomes easier to discern what is essential and what is a distraction. Outcome-oriented individuals understand that not everything requires their attention. They learn to say no to tasks or commitments that do not serve the larger goal. This sense of prioritization is key to maintaining momentum and avoiding burnout. It is easy to spread yourself thin, trying to do everything at once. But focusing on the result allows you to channel your energy where it matters most. An outcome-focused approach also involves measuring progress not by how much effort is exerted, but by how much closer you are to achieving your goal. Many people get caught up in the busyness of activity, believing that if they are working hard, they are making progress. However, effort without direction is simply motion, not movement toward a desired outcome. Measuring outcomes involves looking at tangible results and evaluating whether actions are moving you toward your goal or keeping you in place. This level of awareness keeps you honest with yourself and helps you avoid the trap of feeling productive while actually making little progress. One of the most powerful ways to stay outcome-fixed is to develop a sense of purpose. When your goals are aligned with your core values and passions, the pursuit of those goals becomes more than just a task. It becomes a mission. People who are deeply connected to the purpose behind their actions are far less likely to become distracted or discouraged along the way. They maintain a laser-like focus on their goals because they understand the deeper significance of achieving them. Purpose fuels perseverance, helping individuals push through challenges that might otherwise seem insurmountable. When you are driven by purpose, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to prove your commitment to the outcome, and every success becomes a step toward fulfilling your larger vision. Focusing on outcomes also means taking full responsibility for the results, both good and bad. When the focus shifts from excuses or external factors to the end result, it becomes clear that we are the architects of our own success. If the outcome falls short of expectations, it is not the fault of circumstances or other people. It is the result of our actions, choices, and decisions. This level of personal responsibility empowers us to take ownership of both our achievements and our failures. It frees us from the habit of blaming others or making excuses, and it encourages us to learn from mistakes and keep pushing forward. When you accept responsibility for the outcome, you also accept that you have the power to influence the result, making every action and decision count. Another aspect of focusing on outcomes is understanding the importance of consistency. Achieving great results is rarely a matter of doing something spectacular once in a while. It is about showing up day after day and putting in the consistent effort required to make progress. Outcome-focused individuals do not rely on bursts of inspiration or temporary motivation. They understand that sustained effort over time is what leads to significant results. Consistency is what keeps you moving forward when motivation wanes or when the initial excitement of a project begins to fade. It is through consistent effort that results are achieved, and those who focus on outcomes recognize that success is built not on fleeting moments of brilliance, but on steady, reliable work. An outcome-focused mindset also helps to foster resilience. It is easy to become discouraged when the results you expect do not materialize right away. People who focus too much on the process may become disheartened by slow progress or unforeseen setbacks. However, those who keep their eyes on the outcome understand that the road to success is often long and challenging. Resilience comes from knowing that each step forward, no matter how small, is progress toward the ultimate goal. It is about maintaining belief in the outcome, even when the journey becomes difficult. When you focus on the outcome, you are less likely to be derailed by the temporary setbacks that can easily break the spirits of those who are focused solely on the process. The practice of focusing on outcomes requires the ability to be results-driven rather than activity-driven. This involves developing the capacity to differentiate between productive activities and those that merely fill time. It is not enough to just be busy. You must ensure that your efforts are moving you closer to your goal. Many people get trapped in the idea that doing more is better. But true progress comes from doing what is necessary, not simply what is easy or familiar. Focusing on outcomes means taking deliberate action, measuring results, and continually refining your approach to ensure that every effort is moving you toward the desired result. When you focus on outcomes, you are no longer bound by the limitations of the current situation. Your thinking expands, and you begin to see new possibilities and opportunities that you may have missed while fixating on problems or obstacles. This broader perspective helps you stay creative and innovative, continuously seeking ways to achieve your goal more effectively. Focusing on outcomes shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance, as you realize that there are always multiple paths to success. By focusing on the desired result, you open yourself up to a wealth of ideas, strategies, and approaches that you may not have considered otherwise. The ability to focus on outcomes is not something that comes easily to everyone, but it is a skill that can be developed with practice and intentionality. By learning to prioritize the results over the process, you empower yourself to take decisive action, overcome obstacles, and keep pushing forward despite the challenges. The end result is what truly matters, and with the right mindset, every action you take becomes a meaningful step toward that goal. Success requires a high degree of discipline, and this discipline is not just about adhering to rigid routines or following a set of rules. It is about cultivating the ability to maintain focus and consistency even in the face of challenges and distractions. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who fall short is often not a matter of talent or intelligence, but of the discipline to keep moving forward regardless of circumstances. Discipline is the muscle that propels action even when motivation fades, or when the path to success becomes unclear. It is what transforms aspirations into achievements, ensuring that every step taken is one closer to the desired result. The foundation of discipline lies in the ability to manage impulses and emotions. Life is full of temptations and distractions that can easily pull our attention away from our goals. These distractions are not always bad things. They could be the call of social engagements, the lure of entertainment, or the urge to take a break. However, the disciplined individual is able to discern between short-term gratification and long-term success. They understand that while it is natural to feel the pull of immediate pleasures, these pleasures are often fleeting and will not contribute to the outcomes they seek. Discipline requires the strength to resist these distractions, to prioritize long-term goals over momentary satisfaction, and to stay committed to the task at hand. Building discipline starts with creating clear, actionable goals. Without a clear vision of what you want to achieve, it is impossible to maintain the necessary focus and dedication. Discipline thrives on clarity. When goals are vague or undefined, it becomes much harder to stay committed. Clear goals provide a sense of purpose and direction, making it easier to summon the inner strength to act consistently. The more specific the goal, the more compelling the reason to stay disciplined. When you know exactly what you are working toward and why it matters, discipline becomes a natural extension of your desire to achieve that outcome. Discipline is also about time management. Time is one of our most precious resources, and how we use it can significantly impact our progress. The disciplined individual understands the importance of time, and they manage it wisely. They avoid wasting time on non-productive activities, and they prioritize tasks that will move them closer to their goal. They plan their days with intention, allocating specific time slots for focused work, rest, and personal development. This time management habit ensures that progress is made every single day, no matter how small the steps may seem. By respecting time and using it intentionally, discipline becomes a tool that works tirelessly towards success. Staying disciplined also means developing the ability to push through discomfort. The pursuit of any worthwhile goal is rarely comfortable. There will be moments of fatigue, frustration, and self-doubt. The disciplined person recognizes that discomfort is part of the process, and rather than avoiding it, they learn to embrace it. They understand that the greatest growth often comes from the moments when they are least motivated, and they use these times as opportunities to build resilience. By facing discomfort head-on, they strengthen their resolve and deepen their commitment to their goals. Discipline is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about developing the mental toughness to persevere through it. Accountability is another powerful component of discipline. When we hold ourselves accountable for our actions, we are more likely to stay disciplined. This accountability can be to ourselves or to others. External accountability, such as a mentor, coach, or partner, can provide a layer of motivation and encouragement. However, true discipline comes from within. It is about making promises to yourself and keeping them. It is about being honest with yourself, even when no one else is watching. Taking responsibility for the choices you make. When you are accountable to your own standards, you are far less likely to make excuses or justify complacency. In addition to internal accountability, developing self-discipline requires a strong sense of self-constraint. Self-restraint is the ability to delay immediate gratification in favor of long-term rewards. It requires the ability to focus attention, avoid procrastination, and resist temptations that might derail progress. People who lack self-restraint often find themselves jumping from one task to the next, unable to stay focused long enough to complete anything of substance. In contrast, individuals with strong discipline are able to maintain focus for extended periods of time, ensuring that their efforts are effective and productive. The development of self-restraint requires practice, but it is a skill that can be cultivated over time. Discipline is also about creating and maintaining habits that support your goals. Habits are the actions that we repeat regularly, often without thinking. They form the foundation of our routines and, ultimately, our lives. Discipline is not just about forcefully pushing ourselves to work harder. It is about making positive actions a natural part of our daily lives. Successful people do not rely solely on motivation to get things done. Instead, they build habits that support their success, such as waking up early, exercising regularly, or setting aside time for focused work. These habits, once established, make discipline easier to maintain because they reduce the need for constant decision-making and willpower. When positive actions become habitual, discipline no longer feels like a struggle. It becomes automatic. Another critical aspect of discipline is the ability to learn from setbacks. Every journey toward success is filled with obstacles and failures, but it is how we respond to those setbacks that determines whether we succeed or give up. The disciplined individual sees failure not as a reason to quit, but as an opportunity to learn and improve. They understand that mistakes are an inevitable part of the process, and that they provide valuable lessons. Discipline is about maintaining the resolve to continue after failure, to pick yourself up, assess what went wrong, and try again with a renewed sense of purpose. This mindset keeps individuals moving forward, even when the road gets tough. There is also a psychological aspect to discipline that involves managing one's emotions. Emotional regulation plays a significant role in maintaining focus and control. Emotions like fear, frustration, and self-doubt can easily lead to procrastination or abandonment of goals. Discipline requires the ability to acknowledge these emotions without letting them dictate behavior. By learning to manage emotions, individuals can stay calm, composed, and focused on their objectives, no matter what challenges they encounter. This emotional resilience allows disciplined people to navigate the ups and downs of their journey without being derailed by temporary feelings. Discipline also goes hand in hand with the ability to maintain a positive mindset. While external factors may be beyond our control, how we respond to them is always within our power. A disciplined person remains optimistic even in the face of adversity because they know that setbacks are temporary and that their efforts will eventually pay off. This positive mindset fuels perseverance and ensures that discipline is not just about willpower, but about having a mindset that believes in the possibility of success. The disciplined individual is able to see the silver lining in every situation, using challenges as motivation rather than as reasons to quit. Another important aspect of discipline is consistency. It's easy to be disciplined for a day or two, but it is much harder to maintain that discipline over an extended period. True success comes from consistently applying effort over the long term. This requires a level of endurance and commitment that goes beyond initial enthusiasm. The disciplined person understands that every day matters, and that small, consistent actions add up over time. They focus on the process and trust that over time, their disciplined efforts will lead to meaningful results. This consistency creates momentum, making it easier to continue pursuing the goal even when motivation wanes. Finally, discipline requires the ability to prioritize and make tough decisions. There will always be distractions and competing demands, but the disciplined individual knows how to say no to the things that do not align with their objectives. This ability to prioritize means that they are not overwhelmed by the sheer volume of tasks, but rather they are able to focus their energy on what is most important. By prioritizing the right activities, disciplined people ensure that their time and efforts are always directed toward what will bring them closer to their goals. This level of discernment and focus is key to long-term success. Ultimately, discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the driving force that ensures that actions align with aspirations. Without discipline, even the best ideas and ambitions will remain unfulfilled. Discipline, however, every step, no matter how small, brings us closer to realizing our vision. Discipline is what turns intention into action, obstacles into opportunities, and dreams into reality. The focus on results rather than excuses requires an inherent drive to take responsibility for both successes and failures. Taking ownership of the results means that you are fully accountable for the actions and decisions that lead to those results. This sense of responsibility requires a mindset shift from pointing fingers or making excuses to acknowledging that the path to any goal is paved with your choices. The moment you accept full responsibility for your results, you empower yourself to influence and change the outcome. Power lies in your hands, and the ability to achieve lies within your actions. When you stop looking for excuses, you stop giving away control over your circumstances. Excuses are an attempt to externalize blame and mitigate the discomfort of failure or shortcoming. They offer temporary relief, but they do not solve the underlying issue. When we make excuses, we relinquish our personal agency and prevent ourselves from taking meaningful action. By removing excuses from the equation, you gain full control over your ability to create change and shape your future. The power to succeed, to improve, and to move forward is directly tied to your ability to remove excuses from your mental landscape. Taking responsibility for results requires self-reflection and the courage to face the truth about your decisions. It is easy to make excuses when things don't go as planned, but real growth comes from confronting the mistakes and missteps that might have contributed to an undesirable result, rather than blaming external factors or circumstances. A responsible individual looks inward and asks, What could I have done differently? What did I contribute to this outcome? It is through this self-reflection that improvement begins. By embracing responsibility, you gain the clarity and insight necessary to change your behavior, make better decisions in the future, and take more effective action moving forward. Owning the results also means letting go of the need to be perfect. Perfectionism can often lead to inaction or procrastination because the fear of failure or making a mistake becomes paralyzing. People often wait for the perfect moment to start something, or they convince themselves that they are not ready. The need for perfection feeds into the desire for excuses because it allows us to rationalize not taking action. By accepting that no one is perfect and that mistakes are a part of the process, we eliminate the excuse of waiting for conditions to be ideal. Taking ownership of results means being comfortable with imperfection and continuing to move forward despite not having everything figured out. It's about progress, not perfection. The absence of excuses also encourages a mindset of resilience and perseverance. When you take responsibility for your outcomes, you no longer see failure as something that is done to you, but as something that is a part of the process of learning and growth. Those who embrace responsibility do not dwell on the difficulties they face, but instead learn from them and use them as fuel for future endeavors. Every setback, every mistake, every failure becomes an opportunity to improve, adjust strategies, and keep moving forward. This resilience builds over time, and with each challenge faced, you grow stronger and more capable. You become more adept at overcoming obstacles, better at problem solving, and more focused on the result, knowing that it is ultimately within your control to create it. An essential aspect of owning your results is the willingness to take action and not remain in a state of indecision. Excuses often arise when we are uncertain or overwhelmed by the number of choices or the complexity of a situation. It is easy to postpone decisions or delay taking action when we feel that the circumstances are not ideal or when we fear failure. However, those who take ownership of their results are not paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. Instead, they act. They understand that waiting for perfect conditions or complete certainty is simply another form of procrastination. By taking action despite uncertainty, you learn and adapt more quickly, and you give yourself the best chance to achieve the desired result. The key is to keep moving forward and learn from the feedback that action provides, rather than waiting for the perfect moment, or looking for reasons to avoid making decisions. Ownership of results also involves setting realistic expectations. Many excuses are born from unrealistic expectations or an inflated sense of what is possible in a given time frame. People often set themselves up for failure by creating goals that are too ambitious, or by underestimating the effort required to achieve success. By taking full responsibility for your results, you acknowledge the work and commitment necessary to reach your goals. You set yourself up for success by aligning your expectations with the effort, resources, and time that are realistically available. When you do this, you eliminate the excuse of feeling overwhelmed or disappointed by unrealistic goals. Instead, you develop a clear, actionable plan that is grounded in reality and leads to consistent, measurable progress. Taking ownership also means being proactive in problem-solving and not waiting for others to fix things. Many times we wait for someone else to step in, or we blame circumstances or people around us when things go wrong. However, the person who owns their results takes a different approach. They take the initiative to solve problems and find solutions. They do not sit around waiting for others to change things or for luck to turn in their favor. They assess the situation, take action, and adjust their approach as needed. This proactive mindset helps to break the cycle of excuses and inaction. By taking charge of the situation, you regain control over the outcome and increase your chances of success. Excuses often arise when we lack confidence in our abilities. Fear of failure or a lack of belief in oneself can create mental barriers that make it easier to justify inaction or give up prematurely. However, owning your results requires cultivating self-consciousness. When you take responsibility for your outcomes, you reinforce your belief that you are capable of creating the result you desire. This self-assurance helps you push past doubts and fears, enabling you to act decisively and with purpose. It is not about being flawless or without fear. It is about believing in your ability to handle whatever comes your way and to adapt as necessary. An important aspect of ownership is learning to let go of the need for external validation. When you rely on others to affirm your success or to provide reassurance, you risk making excuses when that validation is not forthcoming. People who own their results do not seek external approval as the basis for their self-worth or success. They know that the true measure of their progress lies in their own actions and the results they achieve, not in how others perceive them. This internal sense of accountability fosters independence and resilience, as you stop waiting for permission or praise and instead focus entirely on the work and the outcome. Moreover, taking responsibility for results encourages a sense of pride and accomplishment. When you know that you are the one who has driven the outcome, you take pride in your achievements. This pride is not born of arrogance, but of a deep sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing that your hard work, determination, and ability to take action have paid off. It reinforces the idea that success is not a product of luck or external factors, but is the result of your efforts and decisions. This sense of ownership creates an empowering cycle where each success builds confidence and drives further action. In relationships, both personal and professional, taking ownership of results enhances trust and collaboration. When you take responsibility for your part in any situation, you demonstrate integrity and reliability. Others can count on you to deliver on your promises and to own up to any mistakes. This accountability builds stronger relationships and creates a culture of transparency and trust. People respect those who take ownership because they know that they are dependable, and they are more likely to collaborate effectively with individuals who consistently take responsibility for their actions. Ultimately, taking responsibility for results is the cornerstone of personal growth and achievement. It shifts the focus from the external world to the internal, empowering you to act, adapt, and improve. By removing excuses, you eliminate the barriers that hold you back from success. You recognize that the power to change, to improve, and to achieve lies within you. Every decision you make, every action you take, contributes to the results you experience. When you embrace ownership, you gain full control over your future and open the door to endless possibilities. Discipline is often seen as the foundational element that transforms intentions into tangible results. Without discipline, even the most promising ideas can fall apart due to lack of consistency or effort. Now, discipline is the muscle that supports all of your efforts, ensuring that you continue to push forward despite setbacks, distractions, or difficulties. It's not just about sticking to a schedule or following a strict routine, though these are certainly part of it. Discipline is about creating the mindset and behaviors that lead to productive action, even when external factors such as emotions or temptations pull you in a different direction. Discipline is fundamentally about making decisions that align with long-term goals rather than choosing the easier, more comfortable options in the short term. It is easy to opt for instant gratification, but that satisfaction is fleeting and often counterproductive in the pursuit of more significant, long-term achievements. Whether it's pushing through a tough workout when every fiber of your being wants to quit, or staying focused on a project rather than succumbing to distractions. Discipline is the ability to remain committed to your goals regardless of the discomfort in the moment. The actions you take today are the building blocks of your future success. And discipline is what keeps you focused on putting in the work necessary to achieve that success. Building discipline starts with establishing clear goals. Without a well-defined target, it's difficult to know what to focus on or where to direct your energy. Goals provide a sense of direction, serving as a constant reminder of why you're making sacrifices and putting in the effort. Discipline flows from the clarity that comes with knowing exactly what you're working toward. When you have a clear goal in mind, discipline doesn't feel like a struggle. It becomes a matter of simply taking the necessary steps to achieve the desired outcome. The clearer the goal, the easier it is to cultivate the discipline to pursue it with determination and consistency. Discipline is also deeply tied to the ability to delay gratification. In a world of instant rewards and constant distractions, it can be difficult to resist the urge for immediate pleasure. However, success, particularly in complex or long-term endeavors, often requires postponing gratification. Whether it's choosing to study rather than watch television, or taking the time to plan your day, rather than simply reacting to whatever comes your way. Discipline is the ability to make decisions that prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort. It requires the understanding that sacrifice in the short term often leads to greater rewards in the future. To build discipline, it is crucial to understand the importance of consistency. It is one thing to work hard for a day or a week, but it is another entirely to maintain that work ethic over time. Consistency ensures that progress is made every day, no matter how small the steps may seem. Success doesn't come from a few bursts of effort. It comes from daily, incremental actions that compound over time. This is where discipline plays its most significant role. Without the ability to remain consistent, no amount of motivation or talent will carry you to the finish line. Discipline is the force that ensures you continue, even on the days when motivation is low or the task at hand seems overwhelming. Another critical aspect of discipline is time management. Time is the one resource that is universally available but can never be regained once it's gone. Successful individuals understand that managing time effectively is one of the most important aspects of discipline. Rather than reacting to each task as it arises, they take a proactive approach, planning their days with intention and prioritizing tasks that move them closer to their goals. Time management allows for greater focus and efficiency, reducing the risk of burnout and procrastination. When you have a clear understanding of how you are spending your time, you can identify areas where you are wasting it and take action to eliminate these distractions. Discipline in time management doesn't just mean filling your schedule, it means making sure that every moment counts toward achieving your objectives. To truly cultivate discipline, it's essential to understand the relationship between habits and discipline. The actions we repeat on a daily basis shape our lives and determine the outcomes we experience. Discipline is not simply about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's about creating habits that support your goals. Once a positive habit is established, it no longer requires as much conscious effort or willpower to maintain. For example, regular exercise can become a habit, becomes ingrained in your daily routine, making it easier to stay disciplined in maintaining your physical health. The key to discipline is creating a set of habits that align with your goals and values, which then reduces the cognitive load required to stay on track. As habits form, discipline becomes less about sheer willpower and more about simply following the routines that lead to success. One of the most challenging aspects of discipline is managing distractions. Whether it's social media, a constant flow of emails, or the temptation to engage in mindless entertainment, distractions are a constant threat to productivity and focus. The disciplined individual understands the importance of managing these distractions and finding ways to minimize their impact. This might mean setting boundaries around technology use, designating specific times for checking emails, or even physically separating oneself from environments that encourage distraction. Discipline in this context is the ability to recognize distractions for what they are and make conscious decisions to stay focused on what truly matters. Each time a distraction is resisted, discipline grows stronger, and the ability to stay on track improves. Self-grained is an integral component of discipline. It requires continuous practice. Self-grained is the ability to regulate your emotions, behavior, and actions in the face of temptations and impulses. It's the internal fortitude that helps you stay focused on your goals, even when your emotions or desires want to take you off course. Developing self-grain takes time and effort, but it is one of the most empowering aspects of discipline. The more you practice self-retro, the easier it becomes to stay on task and resist the distractions that threaten your progress. Each time you exercise self-retro, you strengthen your discipline, and this reinforces your ability to continue pursuing your goals despite obstacles or setbacks. Discipline is not solely about pushing yourself through challenges. It's also about knowing when to rest and recharge. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that being disciplined means working relentlessly without taking time for recovery. However, sustainable success requires balance. Without adequate rest, mental and physical exhaustion can set in, diminishing. Discipline involves recognizing the need for recovery and making it a priority. Scheduling regular breaks, ensuring adequate sleep, and practicing self-care are all important components of maintaining long-term discipline. By giving yourself permission to rest, you ensure that you have the energy and focus needed to maintain high levels of productivity when you are working. As discipline becomes a habitual part of your life, it influences other aspects of your mindset. It fosters a sense of confidence as you see that your consistent efforts lead to tangible results. This confidence feeds into the cycle of discipline, making it easier to stay committed to your goals. Furthermore, the more disciplined you become, the more you begin to view obstacles as opportunities rather than insurmountable barriers. Challenges no longer seem like reasons to quit. Instead, they are seen as tests of resilience and commitment. Discipline teaches you that every setback is temporary and that you are capable of overcoming it. Discipline is also essential for maintaining focus in the face of adversity. The journey to success is rarely smooth, and obstacles will arise along the way. Discipline is what helps you stay on course when things don't go according to plan. It is the ability to maintain focus on what matters most, despite the noise or distractions that might pull you off track. This focus, combined with the consistency that discipline ensures, is what ultimately leads to success. In the end, discipline is the bridge between your aspirations and your achievements. It is the driving force that ensures you remain committed to your goals, even when the path becomes difficult. Discipline is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing practice that requires intentionality and consistency. Through discipline, you cultivate the habits, time management, self-restraint, and resilience necessary to turn your goals into results. The ability to persist in the face of challenges is one of the most important factors that distinguishes those who succeed from those who fail. Life, by its very nature, is unpredictable and filled with obstacles. Whether you are pursuing personal ambitions, professional goals, or seeking improvement in any aspect of life, challenges will inevitably arise. These obstacles can be internal, such as self-doubt or fear of failure, or external, such as unforeseen circumstances or resistance from others. However, the true test of character and resolve is how you respond to these challenges. The difference between those who ultimately achieve success and those who give up often boils down to the ability to persist despite adversity. It is in these moments of struggle and hardship where growth happens. Those who persist develop resilience and the necessary strength to keep moving forward when the path becomes difficult. Persistence is not simply about enduring hardship. It's about actively pushing through those tough times with a firm belief that things will improve. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when faced with a challenge that seems insurmountable, but persistence is the mental and emotional strength that allows you to keep going when others might quit. It is a decision to continue, a commitment to press forward despite the odds, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is progress. The key to persistence is maintaining your focus on the bigger picture and understanding that failure is often not the end, but a part of the learning process. Through persistence, you find ways to adapt, adjust, and ultimately overcome obstacles that seemed impossible at the outset. One of the first steps in developing persistence is cultivating a strong sense of purpose. When you have a clear understanding of why you are pursuing a goal or facing a particular challenge, it becomes easier to push through difficult times. Purpose gives you a reason to persist when the road gets tough. This deep sense of purpose fuels motivation, keeping you on track when things don't go as planned. When faced with setbacks, it's the clarity of your why that allows you to push forward, reminding you of the ultimate reward that lies ahead. The stronger your sense of purpose, the more equipped you are to face adversity head-on without giving up. Another critical component of persistence is developing the right mindset. Persistence is not just about working hard. It's about having a mindset that views challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. It is easy to become discouraged when things go wrong, but those who persist do not view failure as an endpoint. Instead, they recognize it as part of the journey, an essential experience that provides valuable lessons. By adopting a growth mindset, you allow yourself to embrace setbacks as feedback rather than as signs of defeat. Each failure becomes a stepping stone, each mistake an opportunity to refine your approach and become better equipped for future challenges. A mindset that sees challenges as opportunities to grow enables you to persist without becoming demoralized. Persistence also requires the ability to maintain focus and discipline over time. In the pursuit of long-term goals, it's easy to become distracted by short-term pleasures or diversions. However, those who persist maintain their commitment to their goal even when the initial excitement wears off or when the process becomes tedious. The ability to stay focused on the end goal, despite the day-to-day grind, is crucial. It is in the small, consistent actions taken every day that momentum is built. Even when progress seems slow or non-existent, persistence means you keep showing up. Embracing patience is another crucial element of persistence. In today's fast-pacing world, instant gratification is often expected, but success rarely happens overnight. Achieving meaningful goals takes time, and there will be moments when the progress seems minimal or even non-existent. This is where patience becomes critical. Persistence and patience go hand in hand. It's about trusting the process, staying the course, and allowing time to work in your favor. The belief that incremental progress, even if it's small, is still progress, helps you to maintain persistence through those difficult periods. With patience, you're able to withstand the natural ebbs and flows of progress, and trust that perseverance will eventually bring you to your desired outcome. Another key to persistence is the ability to stay adaptable. While persistence is about not giving up, it doesn't mean that you should continue doing the same thing repeatedly when it's clearly not working. The true essence of persistence lies in the willingness to adapt your approach when needed. This could mean changing strategies, trying new methods, or seeking feedback to find better ways of overcoming obstacles. Flexibility allows you to persist without getting bogged down in a single method or mindset that might not be yielding the desired results. Being adaptable doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're willing to pivot in order to find the most effective way to reach your goals. Persistence requires both determination and the flexibility to make course corrections when necessary. Support systems play a significant role in the persistence process. It is often difficult to persist alone, especially when facing long-term challenges or deeply personal obstacles. Having a strong network of friends, family, mentors, or colleagues who encourage you and offer support can make all the difference in maintaining your persistence. This network provides not only emotional encouragement, but also practical advice, motivation, and a sense of accountability. When you are feeling discouraged or exhausted, these individuals can remind you of your purpose, help you reframe setbacks, and keep you on track. It's important to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in your potential, and who remind you that persistence pays off. Learning to handle rejection is another important part of persistence. Those who are persistent use rejection as fuel to work harder, improve their approach, and refine their strategies. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is an opportunity to learn and grow. Refine yourself in perseverance, and you will find that you are above the contempt of man. And then you will be their defender. A critical part of persistence is the ability to celebrate small wins along the way. Often people are so focused on the end goal that they overlook the progress they make in the interim. Celebrating small victories helps to keep motivation high and reinforces the belief that your efforts are making a difference. It is easy to become discouraged if you are only focused on the final outcome. But by acknowledging and appreciating the incremental progress you make, you build momentum. These small wins act as reminders that you are indeed moving closer to your goal, and they provide the fuel to keep going when times get tough. Persistence isn't just about grinding through the tough moments. It's also about recognizing and celebrating the progress you're making along the way. Persistence is deeply connected to emotional regulation. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when emotions run high and when doubts creep in. The ability to manage these emotions is crucial to maintaining persistence. It's not about suppressing feelings, but about acknowledging them and not letting them dictate your actions. By learning to regulate emotions, you can maintain a calm and focused state, allowing you to approach challenges with clarity and objectivity. Emotional regulation allows you to persist even when emotions might tell you to quit or take a break. It helps you stay grounded in your goal and reminds you that emotional discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of persistence are long-lasting. Building resilience is essential for long-term persistence. Every time you overcome a challenge, you become stronger, more capable, and more prepared for the next obstacle. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding hardship, but embracing it, learning from it, and using it as a tool for growth. Each challenge faced and overcome reinforces your belief in your ability to persist. And this belief compounds over time. Resilience builds mental toughness, which is key to sustaining persistence over the long haul. The more resilient you become, the less likely you are to be deterred by obstacles, and the more likely you are to keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. The ultimate test of persistence comes when things are at their most difficult. When everything seems stacked against you, it is easy to give up and walk away. However, it is in these moments of extreme difficulty where true persistence is born. The ability to push forward when it feels impossible is where growth happens and where success begins to take shape. It is through these challenges that you discover your own strength, resilience, and capacity to endure. Those who persist in these difficult times often find that the reward is not just the achievement of their goal, but the transformation that occurs within them along the way.